Hey, we are live. Hey, guys. It says we have an excellent connection. Woohoo! Julia's not in. Hold on, we have to move over.
Is it live? And then I was only looking.
We're live.
So you could...
Yay! Hey, guys.
Hi.
How is everyone? Let me turn off our music so you can actually hear us. We'll just put some music going so we can, introduce ourselves here. Here we go. All right, let's check it over here so we can see everyone's comment. Welcome to joining us this morning. We're so excited that you're here. I see a lot of you guys have been chatting already and putting some different comments up. So really cool. We can't wait to explain where we're staying, what it's like here. Weather-wise, we're not really having the best of days. It's kind of overcast and rainy, but nonetheless, it's still beautiful. So here we go. Okay, can you click over here so we can see all the different comments coming in and we can answer any questions that you guys might have. There we go. So let's back up because we, first of all, apologize for not being online sooner because last time we spoke with you all was back when we were in Picton, which is a good 3 hours away from here. And it was just really beautiful. And the whole country's gorgeous. Coming here, what was it like, girls? How would you describe the drive here? It's like 3 hours, and you wouldn't think it's 3 hours of motorways like you would have in the United States. The roads are really different here. So explain it. What's it like? Who's going to explain? Angelique, what are the roads like here?
Explain. They're very curvy.
Curvy. Very curvy. You're always going up and over a mountain pass. And so it's really you have to always keep your eyes focused on the road, like the ones in the back seat. If not, you get car sick. And so what you would think is a short distance is actually really long in time to get there. So it's really cool that way. Let me just double check.
The chat.
Let me pop up the chat, but I'm going to cover your head if I do that. But let's just do that really fast. There we go. Hey, we've got Pepe in the house. Hey, hi Roberto. I'm not sure if someone earlier was asking if Annie from South Africa was joining in, but I did not see her as of yet. So hopefully she comes on and we can all say hello again. So we arrived here and we're staying in this beautiful home again. We've been our whole travel's been really revolutionized by finding the website called Home Exchange, which I'm putting a link below. And basically we've been really blessed to find all these different home exchanges all over New Zealand. So it's been working out nicely for us, and we're staying in these beautiful homes versus, sometimes hotels can get taxing when you're checking in and out of hotels. And so this is just nice. We have a kitchen. We can
and this one's
cook.
Yeah, ginormous. There's 2 levels. There's this section, and then downstairs it's a whole nother house almost, with many bedrooms.
Yeah. And we have our friends who were visiting the South Island. They're from Rotorua, which is basically the Bay of Plenty. And I saw someone's watching from Bay of Plenty, which is really cool. So they were here, which is awesome. So loads of space. We asked the owners if they'd be okay with it. And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. And so our friends came. And we actually went so there's the solstice, right? The shortest day of the year. And for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, it was the longest day of the year. But we literally decided to go for a swim right in the ocean, which is right in front of us.
It's a really rainy day.
It's a rainy day, so it's not as pretty. I can still show you guys. But so we decided to run and jump into the water, which was, how was it, girls?
It wasn't as bad as I was expecting. It wasn't freezing
so
cold.
bad.
No.
It was just a bit cold. So, so it's been fun. And someone's saying, hey, from Israel. Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for joining in, you guys. Tell us where you're watching from. Hola. Thank you. We've got people from Charleston, South Carolina. Cool. And then all the way from, California and all over the place. Liverpool. So cool. Or they're talking about Liverpool, maybe. I'm going through the chat really fast from before because we had the chat on, right? So you guys were able to talk back and forth. All right, so what else? So we went for this swim, and if you guys don't know New Zealand, because we honestly didn't know much about New Zealand before we came, and we're discovering it now, and one of the things I didn't realize is how outdoorsy it was. So everybody basically goes for walks, and one of the main sports you'll see all the time is people biking. So everywhere. And we are right now near one of the Great Walks. So there's all these different Great Walks in New Zealand. I think there's about 9 of them. Those of you from New Zealand watching, correct me because I might be wrong. And one of the major walks, or the Great Walks, is called the Abel Tasman Walk. And you literally, it's not far from here, you get there and you carry on your back all your food, all your like sleeping gear and everything, and you walk. And it's a 4 to 6 day walk, I think, depending on how fast you go. And all along the way, there's these huts set up. And you can get to these huts and you can sleep in these huts. And essentially it's like bunk beds, right? And everyone does it. You know, everybody's out walking. So, I mean, now the time of the year is not like the greatest because it's their winter. But in the spring and summer, I'm sure it's just like loaded and packed. So much so that you have to book in advance. It says basically to make sure you have space in the huts. But it's really cool because the whole country has that everywhere. So there's all these different treks you can do. And someone yesterday told me that you can actually put your gear on a boat and then they'll drive it over and meet you so you don't have to carry it the whole way, which would be nice because I think it'd get really heavy, right? So, yeah.
Someone says, this is a dumb question, but are the golf courses open? He loves to golf.
Oh.
Yeah, probably.
Everything here is open, you guys. I'm not sure if you're referring to coronavirus or weather because it's winter, but okay, so 2 things. First of all, New Zealand is completely functioning as if there's no coronavirus. It kind of feels like pre-coronavirus days before we even heard of coronavirus. Everything's open, everything's functioning. They've pretty much, the only cases like that they have coming in are people who are returning to New Zealand and they're being quarantined and contact traced. So they really have it really, really, really well under control. No one's wearing masks anywhere. There's no social distancing. It's basically like it doesn't exist, which is crazy because when we see what's going on in the rest of the world, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so wild to see, you know, all the countries that it's mandatory to wear a mask and all of that. So it's really different here. So you kind of forget that the whole world is like in this crazy state right now. And they're very vulnerable in the sense that, you know, if they didn't do contact tracing or if they didn't do the quarantining properly, it could easily come right back up and, you know, flare up again. So that, but weather-wise, I'm not sure if the question was for the weather because I didn't go back and look.
They said in New Zealand, sorry.
Yeah. So everything, I think everything would be open. Their winters, I wouldn't call this winter. I mean, it's so mild. Someone said yesterday it's more of a mild winter this winter, but it's not like what you would expect winter to be. When we talk about winter, being Canadians, we talk about winter, like the real like proper snow. Like snow, you know, -10, -20 winter. Here, their winter is like 10 degrees, 15. Where we are anywhere, 15, 18 when it's sunny. I mean, it's not winter.
Yeah.
That's why we went swimming. But, well, I mean, it was cold, but we still went swimming. It could go down to like 0 and stuff. And then, of course, where you were in Queenstown, it gets quite a bit colder down there. So yes. So feel free to ask us questions. This is our live Q&A, and we will answer them as best as we can. So I see Tony's answering Nathan's question. That's really cool. Notice that the temperatures of the water are warmer, someone's saying, than usual. Yeah, everything. I don't know what your winters are normally like.
Do you love the food in New Zealand? Okay, can I explain?
Yeah.
In Queenstown, there's a bakery, and there's like a coffee shop, and there's this thing called Ferg Burger. So in the Ferg Burger, you get burgers, which are really good. In the bakery, you can get these really good meat pies, which are like, I think, from New Zealand. They're called, what is it called? They make like mince and cheese. They do beef and cheese and all these different things, and it's really, really good.
Yes, and it's, I don't know, to be honest, we don't really know the New Zealand food so much because we've been eating in all the time. So Chloe is our chef. What have you been making, Chloe? What kind of meals do you make?
Indian, Thai, Mexican, anything you could really think of.
So not really Indian food. But, right?
We're not really Indian food.
We've had Indian food.
Why did you say so not really Indian food?
Oh, not really New Zealand food.
Yeah, not really New Zealand. Except we bought these fruits Should I go get them?
Yeah, we found these fruits yesterday. So we met people yesterday. They invited us to their house, and another couple. Actually, the other couple, they're from India, and they lived here now for, I think, like many years. I'm not sure exactly. So we went to their estate. It was this beautiful log home. And they have animals, and then they had these trees with fruits on them. And so the lady's like, have you ever tried this fruit? Oh, I should have wrote it down because I have no idea what they're called.
One of them tastes like a sour gummy worm or something like that.
Okay, this is what they are. You guys, this one looks like a tomato. This is actually a fruit. And so you just pick it off the tree, like an apple, and you just eat it like that. But you can peel it too and then eat it. And inside's soft.
Kind of like a peach or nectarine almost.
Yeah, it's...
And the skin is like an apple.
A lot less. A little bit lighter than an apple. Yeah. Almost like a tomato, right? But it's not so sweet, and it doesn't have like a huge flavor, but... And then this is my very favorite fruit in the whole wide world. Look at this thing.
It tastes like a candy.
It tastes like candy. You guys know those sweet candies that you buy when you're kid, sour one, the sour candy where you're like that, and you just you basically and then you suck the inside out, and it's so good, and it's very sweet and sour. So, you guys know what these are? Let us know. Do you guys have these? I'm trying to see if someone wrote what it's called. But okay, Mr. Ka, have we ever had food poisoning? Well, yes.
Yeah.
We have had food poisoning. It's awful. It's the worst thing in the world.
Told me the name. If you search green kiwi fruit, it'll show up.
Okay. Green kiwi fruit.
Just.
It popped up a kiwi.
It comes up as a kiwi.
That's not a...
You have to put New Zealand fruit. We're going to find it for you.
It's a kiwi. No, it's not a kiwi.
It's not a kiwi. It's because we've typed in kiwi. You have to put that's
green
it right there.
Green fruit New Zealand. Just search green fruit New Zealand.
You guys want to learn how to learn Google? How to Google?
Oh, here it is.
Okay, it's called a...
Fijoas.
Fijoas.
Okay.
No, that's the red one.
No, that's a green one too.
That's this one. And it's this one too? No, it can't be the same.
On the images, it shows green.
On the image, it shows... Okay, you guys from New Zealand watching, what are the names of these?
It's a fijoa.
Fijoa.
Well, then what's the orange one called?
I don't know.
Anyway, they're really good. Yeah, it's not a green kiwi. So this is the fijoa.
No, this is the fijoas. I know, because Jessie told me. This is a fijoa.
Anyhow, so we're not 100% sure. So let me explain to you guys Kaiteriteri. Kaiteriteri.
It's a fijoa. Hey, it's a fijoa.
It's a fijoa. And the other one is?
It's the green one. The fijoa is the green one. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a fijoa. And this, I have no idea what this one is.
Thank you guys for enlightening us. So we've never seen these before, and it was awesome. So she gave us a bag full of these, and we came back.
Persimmons is the red one.
Yeah.
Orange one.
That's what Tyler just wrote. He's writing as if he's us, so it looks like we know what we're talking about. Anyhow, yeah, so do you guys want to see a little bit? I mean, it doesn't really show you very well, but let me just really fast. Can I unplug this?
I don't know what that is.
That's a hard drive.
Oh.
I'll carry it with me. Let me show you really fast what it looks like here so you guys can see, and then I'll take you on a tour. So we're staying in this beautiful home. Has 2 outdoor sitting areas. And then you see over there in the distance, that's the beach. So we can literally walk to the beach, and then behind the hill over there is basically the tiny, tiny little town of Kaiteriteri, or I'm not sure if it's like an area, but Kaiteriteri in the summer months is like really happening. They have these ferry boats that'll take you, and you can do walks all along. So they can take you from like one bay to the other, and then you go for a walk, and then you can get picked up in the other ferry area. So it's really cool. And then in and around here, you've got all these really cool areas. So we went to this one place called Collingwood. So there's like a Collingwood in Canada. They have a Collingwood here, and there's really not much there. It's like a sleepy beach town. But right as you're going in, there's this like place called the Mussel Inn, and it's this like happening place in the middle of nowhere. They have live music. They had like an outdoor bonfire going on, and they brew all their own beer, and it's just like where everybody goes. So that was really cool.
Someone said they have a fedora tree, and they want to know what's the first country we went to as a family. It'd probably be Europe.
United States.
Yeah.
United States, because we're from Canada. Okay, so if you count United States out, because Canada, United States
Then
are side by side, then it would be Mexico, was our third country, I guess. And then it was Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Spain.
And Julia was the Dominican, but that was before these two were born. But not as a family, yeah. So there you go.
Someone said...
And then I was just going to explain more. So Kaiteriteri, like in the summer, I think it's really happening. There's like campsites everywhere, people, and then they have like all these native animals here. So you can't let they have seals and penguins. They even have penguins, blue penguins they're called, just at the beach, and you're not allowed to have a dog out on a leash, or you get like super big fines in even jail time if they catch a penguin. So it's like major fine. And what else? So
something really cool is a few minutes down the road, there's this place called the Split Apple Rock, and basically it's this rock, but it looks like a perfectly split apple, and it's just like in the water. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you wonder, how did this rock fall onto like the middle of the ocean, and then how did it split right in the middle?
Is it the ocean? Yeah, it's the ocean.
Yeah, it looks crazy. I've got some great drone shots of it that I'm going to share when our YouTube videos come out. So as you notice, so if you're watching, somebody from Poland just checked in and said they found our videos. So cool. Glad you're joining us. And basically we're pumping up all of our European videos right now. So you're going to see
Someone said,
the ones
have you
coming
discovered anything unique, or have you discovered Kiwis that are your ages, like friends, Kiwi friends? And you can read
What's the answer?
We met Kiwis back when we were in Nicaragua, if you can imagine. And we became really good friends. And they kept saying, come to New Zealand, come to New Zealand. And we finally made it. But when we arrived, it was just lockdown, so we couldn't see them. And they came to visit us here, which was cool.
And then yesterday we met a whole bunch of kids. They all had girls, which was nice. So one was more like Julia's age, like 18, and then the others were like 7, 9, 11, and right around that age. Yeah.
So 11-year-olds. We also met
9-year-olds.
We also met a 15-year-old, and she has 9 siblings.
That's crazy. So it's like, now that lockdown is over and things are open back up, it'll be easier. But we went through a period of like not seeing anyone. Like you guys all. Everyone's going through the same thing, right? So it's just like, but when you're in a foreign country, you don't really even like, have the option to see your friends, right? So it's
Someone
crazy.
said, hope you go up to the Abel
Tasman National Park. So that's the one we went to. We didn't do like the Great Walk, but we discovered like the entrance of it. And right at their entrance, actually, there's a really cool, kind of like a lodge almost. It looks like a lodge, and they're just opening up this weekend, and so it's gonna be neat if we do get to go and see what it's like, although the weekend's over, but they're basically just opening up again. So what else? I'm just trying to see, what else have you asked? Anything unique about this area? Well, it's just the beautiful scenery everywhere you go. So when we were in Picton, we went over and discovered Blenheim. They say it sometimes differently than we do. That's like wine country. And we went into their train station. And so we thought it was like a real train station. But when you go in, it's actually like a whole wine bar. And they have this like really neat thing where you put in your card. You put in a card. And then you can sample the different wines. And you can like have a sip, or maybe 2 sips, or like a glass. And then, so it's all local wines. So I didn't realize how many wineries were in the area. We visited a couple of them just to see what it was like and film it for you guys to see later on YouTube. And then we discovered just like some of the different areas. So we went an hour and a half away to a place called St. Arnaud, they call it. Arnaud, I would say Arnaud. And there they have this like big, massive lake. And
it has eels in it.
Yeah.
Like the one we saw in Wanaka.
Like slithering eels everywhere.
And big ones.
Someone said someday come back to Mexico, or not.
Will we come back to Mexico? Sí, claro que sí. We definitely love Mexico. So it's one of the, there's certain countries that is like on your list and you're like, I'm definitely going to go back there. And Mexico's ones that like, we would live in Mexico in a heartbeat. It's such a beautiful country. So yes, we will definitely come back to Mexico.
This lake had many walks around it too, what you could do. And we did one. It was a really nice one. And the forests here are so like, almost like an enchanted, magical forest. They're really nice.
Yeah, that's one thing about New Zealand that you look outside and you just feel like the trees should talk to you while you're walking through them because they look so like in the fairy tales. So it's true. Like when you see these movies, and most of these movies were filmed here, if you don't know that already. And so like Avatar and stuff like you're walking around, you're like, oh yeah, I can see why. Avatar, of course, is all computer.
Lord of the Rings.
But Lord of the Rings, yeah. And you're like, yeah, like the forests look like they're going to come to life. So. Caitlin said, how long are we going to stay here for? So the big plan is no plan so far.
Someone said, are you thinking about going back home to Canada?
We'll answer those two questions. So the first question, New Zealand's really safe and everything's normal here. So we're going to just stay, wait out the storm and see when things start to open back up. Our home, even though we're from Canada, we live in Switzerland right now. So that's our home. We're going to get Angelique to talk because she's sleepy. But when will we go back to Canada? We're not sure either. So, hey, Jimmy, thanks for the little emoji. That's really cool. You know what? We're thinking to do something on our website. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this yet, but a lot of websites have memberships and people like can put special emojis and there's different levels of membership. So as you're watching this, if we do that, please let us know what would be something you would like as a special membership privilege. And some of the ideas we had were either doing special videos just for members, whether it's special live Q&As or maybe behind the scenes shots that never make it to camera. We have a lot of those. There's a lot of cuts that happen when we make videos and a lot of things that don't get in the videos.
Funny clips.
Yeah.
We sometimes want to make like bloopers at the end.
Yeah, we should make
Should
more.
we? Or should we not do that?
Yeah, that's one.
That should be something we should do.
What are some, someone's saying these fijoles are originally from South America, and then they came here. Do you know what? The New Zealanders, this is something that we didn't know either. They have these animals called possums. And anything here that is not native, they're allowed to shoot and kill. So there's not like, okay, so if you're from Canada, they have like a hunting season. And you have to get a tag for how many deer you can hunt or things like that. Here, if there's a deer or something that's not from New Zealand, you could just shoot it. There's no like rules or regulations. And so people possum hunt because they don't want possums. Possums are these like little animals that look like almost like, how would you explain it?
What's it? Look
Like
at a rat mixed with a cat.
It's got a very furry tail.
I don't know.
We saw one at the last place we stayed at because it would come into the tree and eat the berries. And once we turned on the light and then it stared at us like this.
And they're so cute. They're so cute. But you see these traps all over the trails. They're catching them essentially. But here's the crazy thing. In Australia, they're considered to be like almost extinct, right? So they're like, I'm not sure if they're extinct, but they're a protected animal. Now, I'm not sure if it's a different kind of possum. So we should just like, they should catch them all and then ship them over. But anyway, so our next home exchange that we have lined up, we're really excited because we're going to go meet a really cool family with one daughter who is 9 years old. So Chloe's excited to meet another friend. But he hunts, and he was like, if we came earlier, we might not be able to crisscross paths sometime before they leave and before we get there. But he said we could go possum hunting, and I'm like, oh, that'd be such a cool experience. It'd be so crazy. But anyway, we may not be able to because we're going to head over quickly before we go there to the West Coast. The West Coast of New Zealand is apparently absolutely gorgeous, and so we figured we're all the way here. We don't want to miss out on seeing that. And it rains all the time there, so if the weather is correct and the weatherman's right, it's going to be sunny, so we'll have a good day to go. So that's the plan.
Someone said, have you ever considered Patreon?
Patreon. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yes, we have. And we thought of different tiers and stuff like that, but we've never really like officially launched that and stuff like that. So that's why we did things like creating our geography courses. If we haven't mentioned that yet, this is what it looks like. So the girls created these geography made fun courses from their perspective, where for $5 a month you can learn geography from these three, and every month you get a new video and it talks about the country that they visited and everything. Well, what do you teach in the videos? What kind of things?
The language, the culture, the food, the population, the width, if they have lakes or oceans, all the different things you can think of.
And then we take all the footage from our past trips and we interject that as they're talking. So they're teaching geography, and it's from their perspective. So it's kids teaching kids. So we've done that for $5 a month. You can support us with that way, and then that way we give you guys something in return. And then so we're thinking about the membership site. So maybe what we could do on our next live is put like a list of all the top ones that we thought of, and you guys can decide which ones would be the best that you would enjoy. And we can do something like that.
Someone's asking about our education. So us girls are homeschooled, and we use a curriculum from the United States called...
It's all on a USB.
Yeah.
Well, our old one, it was all online, and this one now, all you have to do is plug into the computer, and it's offline, so you can do it whenever.
And it's switched on Schoolhouse, and it's so cool because everything's scheduled, so there's no need to plan it. You just log in, do your work, and
it tells you this lesson should be due by this day. Like, it tells you when it should be due.
Mm-hmm. And it auto-grades it. So from the perspective of me being like the teacher, principal, whatever you want to call me, they do their question and then they answer them, and it auto grades as they go. So there's only like a handful of things that I have to actually physically log in and grade, which is nice. And then we also, I guess you could say, world school. So like, for example, here they're learning about, the fruits and the trees, even though we don't remember the names, but they're learning about like the vegetation here and the different oceans as we travel, and rivers, and like these great walks, and the cities, and the states, and all of those kind of things as we go. So I use
AOP. Someone asked what
AOP switched on Schoolhouse. So I'm going to put a link below, and if you want to try the USB stick and the online monthly version, they both are the exact same, except for one you need the internet and the other one you could do it offline. But I had a 30-day free trial. If you want to try it, I'll give you the coupon code in the description below, and you can try it for 30 days for free and see if you like it for your kids. But it's fantastic. We highly recommend it, and we've been using it now for 3 years, so it works good for us. For French, because the girls learn French, this will be our 4th year, going into 4th year. Yep. For French, we use something in Switzerland called Biceps. And again, it's like a small monthly fee. Angelique, have a coffee. This is bad. So, it's called Biceps. And we use that for some of the French exercises and stuff like that. So
2 questions about the States. Where in California have you been, and have you been to Oregon?
We have not been to Oregon. And the only one that's been to California is little Julia. But she was like... 1 year one, I think, when we went. She was still in a little pushy stroller, and we were in like Venice Beach, so it was really pretty, and we did a few like tours around there. Drove all the way to Vegas, visited Vegas with a 1-year-old. I don't know what you're doing there. That sounds really stupid, but we did. Yeah, so there you go. Which curriculum? Okay, so we answered that. Yeah, possums are pests here in New Zealand. You hunt deer. It's called the roar. Huh. Yeah. It was really funny. So, we're just not used to that, right? We were at the house yesterday, the people that invited us to their home, and they have, like, the antlers up and everything like that, which is really cool.
A whole wall.
A whole wall. But those were pigs.
And pigs and a few deer.
And deer, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really neat. What else? Should I go through and just...
We read those ones.
You read all these?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well then,
You must come back to Poland.
We must come back to Poland. Oh yeah, definitely. Poland, for those of you guys watching who have not been to Poland, we can definitely vouch for Poland. We love their food, and the history there is phenomenal. So if you're into history and you want to get some good interesting facts. They have all these walking tours, the free walking tours. So you go right to the city center, and every day basically they do these walking tours where they bring you around and they teach you the history and everything. It's pretty cool. So definitely nice place to visit. And most people speak English, which is surprising.
Good night, Annie.
Oh, Annie's going to sleep. Hey. It's late.
How
Good
was
night.
your trip to Nicaragua? Incredible. Like, our experience there was probably one of the tops in the world. Because we went to this one town called San Juan del Sur, and we were there for, like, probably 9 weeks. And, like, the experiences and the people we met was just... Yeah,
Every time you go anytime you go anywhere, you don't know who you're going to meet before you go. So you're always kind of apprehensive, like, oh, what's it going to be like? And then you get there, and when you meet people, it changes the whole experience, because then you're like, wow, then everything changes. So anytime we've had a really good time in places, it's usually often because of the people we meet or the cool experiences we've had and encountered along the way.
Someone asked us what time it is here. For us, it is 10:37 in the morning.
On Monday.
On Monday.
Yeah.
I found a good way to figure it out. We are 7 hours behind Eastern Standard Time the day after. Isn't that confusing?
Mom, you can do 2 hours ahead, which makes it 12:37 at night in Europe, that place. And then you take 6 hours off to get to America.
Okay.
That's how we
Is that what you do it?
That's how
So
you do it.
6.
So if you're messaging your friend, you add 2 hours.
And then minus.
So right now it'd be 12:38, and then minus 6 hours.
Comes math.
You math.
Anytime
Do it in your head.
we're doing time zone differences
So then,
here,
right
work-wise,
now
it's
in
really hard.
America, it'd be 6:38 p.m.
Yeah, yesterday.
No, a.m. No,
PM.
PM.
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Do you look forward to Central Asian countries? Yes.
And why? Well, just because
Anywhere
probably.
new is exciting and it's
Yeah, and also
gonna be-
people who have been before us. So we follow other YouTubers who have gone, and so we follow their channels, and then it gets us really excited to visit certain countries, and then we meet people along the way, of course. So, for example, the country of Georgia, apparently, I can't wait to see it, because one of the things that we're doing is, like, we're kind of on a hunt to see where's our secondary home going to be, where do we want to live, blah, blah, blah. And so New Zealand is right now top on the list, believe it or not, because once you're here, you just fall in love with it. It's a very easy country. Everyone speaks English, and everyone's super friendly. So there's just, like, all these, like, pluses, right? Switzerland, well, the flag is a big...
Plus.
No, I'm just joking. We like Switzerland because it's home.
Why is Switzerland the best country in the world?
This-
I don't know about the flag is a big plus.
Yeah, we always laugh about that joke. But anyway, but the country of Georgia, somebody we met lived in the country of Georgia and said it was one of the best countries they've lived in. So we have yet to discover that country, and we're really excited to see what it's like. And
We have not been to India.
not yet.
And someone asked where in the map is Kaiteriteri.
Angelique?
Kaiteriteri.
Where is it,
South
Angelique?
Island.
South Island.
The north of the South Island.
We're in the north of the South Island, and technically, so where you have the ferry that connects the two islands, it's a 3.5 hour ferry ride, and a lot of it's going through, like, the sounds. So the sounds are kind of like fjords. So you're going through all these, like, fjords, and then there's, like, this stretch that's could be really rough waters depending on when you go through. It's the Captain Cook, kind of the stretch of Captain Cook, I guess they call it, something like that. And then you get to Wellington. But where we are in the South Island is actually more north than Wellington right now. So it's, like, just a little bit north, depending on where you go.
Someone said we are leaving Los Angeles, California in October. Your family is so inspiring. We are moving to Medellin
Wow.
once this whole coronavirus.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Stops.
Medellin is a really cool city. Do you have kids? Gio, do you guys have kids there?
I think they do because it's a family.
It's a family. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Medellin is a really cool city, so much so because it's like eternally spring, right? So you get the perfect weather, and, people sometimes get worried about safety over there, but there's some really nice areas, and we have a lot of friends who actually live there and absolutely love it as well. So
Someone
Someone
said,
said-
yeah, you say.
Do you guys sometimes miss family members or close friends or just home in general?
yes, all of the
Yeah.
above, I would say, definitely.
And for example, where we were yesterday, it kind of reminded me of the sense of going home to like Canada and seeing family members, even though, like, it was like kind of like their. I guess since there's a big crowd of people, it's just kind of like nice.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said, "We're in India, 2 dangerous countries for women."
6 and 9, 2 girls. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, you're gonna like it. Do you know people there? Let us know if you know people there.
Someone also said, "Where
Someone
were
else
you all
has an
born?"
eyebrow.
Canada, 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 Canada.
We're all born and raised in Canada.
Well, I wasn't fully raised in Canada.
Yeah, you weren't raised in Canada. We left when you were a baby.
4 weeks old.
When she was 4 weeks old, we went on a trip to Florida, and then we started going back and forth to Florida. So she kind of was raised somewhat in Florida and then Switzerland. So when you ask,
a mixture of Florida and Switzerland and a bit of Canada.
Yeah,
a little bit of everything.
Gio is originally Colombian.
Oh, wow. You're from Colombia. So free. It's going to be so easy for you. It's going back home. That's so cool. Well, then, if we come back, you'll have to let us know where to go. But we loved it. Tyler was always saying that he would move to Medellin in a heartbeat. So it's really nice. No entiendo. Oh, lo siento.
Someone said, maybe I should sleep, I think. Is what my comment
It's amazing. ¿Qué te parece? Tenemos mucha gente que habla solamente en español y nos vean en los videos, right? And I just want to say muchas gracias a todos porque lo siento con nosotros hablamos like nunca en español in the videos. So we only speak English, but you're watching anyway, so we really appreciate it and we thank you so much. Muchas gracias para todos que hablan en español. We're trying our best. We're learning Spanish every day by watching Spanish TV shows, and it's really good. So they're with English subtitles, so we can somewhat learn the language, and it's helpful, which is really cool.
Angelique's been talking to a lot of her friends back in Spain.
Mm-hmm. Angelique tell us about your friends in Spain, Angelique.
Hello.
She has these friends in Spain because when we were in Spain, she met a lot of friends, and so they're always talking back and forth, which is nice. But they speak in English and somewhat Spanish too, yeah?
I think one speaks Spanish.
She uses Google Translate to have conversations with them. Why are you giggling?
Why are you giggling?
I'd love to go to Canada. Oh, nice. Yeah, Canada's a beautiful country. Really, really pretty. And I must add, mostly in the spring, summer, and not towards the end of fall. If you don't like cold weather, do not go in the winter.
Go to the Cook Islands. Yes, absolutely. One day.
Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful islands around here. Even just off Auckland, there's an island there too, right? So we want to check that area out. It's just absolutely beautiful. So we'll definitely do that. I want to show you guys something too. If you haven't seen this yet, on our website you can go and there's like this map view of the different countries we visited, and when you click on the map view you can pop up the actual video. So we're working on getting that all up to date so you guys can basically see the different areas we've been right from the website. And the other thing I must tell you is, if you haven't already, we're doing weekly newsletters. It's just a video newsletter because if I had to write it all out, I don't think I'd have the time to add that extra thing to my plate. So I pop up a quick video and I explain a little bit about what we're doing on a weekly basis. So if you go to growingupwithoutborders.com and you scroll to the bottom, there's like a sign up for the newsletter. So go ahead and sign up, and then we can get you guys up on our newsletter and keep you up to date as to what we're doing in between our lives and everything like that. So any other questions before we head off?
Being from New Zealand, I can't imagine just how vast Canada is.
Yeah. You know what? We didn't realize how big New Zealand was. New Zealand's really big. Like when you're driving and you drive for 3 hours and there's like hardly any homes and like just these tiny little villages, like we really realize what a big, beautiful, vast country it is. And I always thought, this sounds so stupid, but I always thought New Zealand was like one little mountain range. Like I didn't realize how many mountains are here and how many hills and like just how beautiful the scenery is. I had no idea. So,
what country do you most look forward to visiting?
India for me. is going to be a big, huge one. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to eating all the curries.
Yeah, and people told us you're going to love it and hate it, so I'm like a little bit kind of apprehensive.
Speaking of
that
India,
way.
we found this really awesome train ride, and so it'd be like almost like going on a
Orient
cruise,
Express.
but on a train, because it stops in all these little towns, and then you sleep on there, you have your meal, so it's perfect. You get off, you explore, and then you come back, and then
It looks really
continue
good.
going.
What other countries are you
I can't wait to go to Israel. That's a country I'm looking forward to visiting.
That'll be cool. And sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera. Well, all of the all the different countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, all that. I just because I don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's going to be like. So I'm really excited to see what those countries are all about.
What about Angelique?
Is there a country that you're looking forward to?
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah, Japan has really cool things, and they say it's like 10 years ahead.
It's funny, because I don't have any real desire for Japan, but maybe I'll be surprised.
There's a cat island, which Angelique really wants to go and see. A deer island. Rabbit island, right?
Someone's saying we have French accents. Sí, claro que sí. Es porque nos hablamos francés también. Entonces, we have French accents. Anytime we're in a Spanish-speaking country, people are like, oh, you guys are from France. And we're like, nope, we're not from France. But as soon as we open our mouths, we sound like we're French, apparently, when we speak Spanish. So it is what it is. We can't get rid of that French accent when we speak Spanish. Weird, right? It's kind of funny.
Kia ora from North Island.
Kia ora. Hey, kia ora. Hey, that's so cool. We started saying things like, we haven't...
Sweet as.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yana.
Yeah, no.
Yesterday, the lady, everything ended with as. That's funny as.
Oh, yeah, they're like,
full
I'm full as. They're so funny when they speak. You know what? It makes you very relaxed. Because everyone in here in New Zealand, they just, their language, you know what it reminds me of? This is really funny. You know the turtles? I mean, they're Australian, okay? In Finding Nemo, but they're kind of
go with the flow, kind of.
But kind of the turtles and that's what kind of reminds me of, because they're like, oh, I'm full as, sweet as, and they're just so relaxed, and it just makes it really fun. It's really funny. Anyway,
Maybe they were from New Zealand. Yeah, just chill.
I traveled by train all over South India.
wow, isn't that neat? Yeah, I think traveling by train in India is definitely going to be a must. So if there's countries that you think we should be highlighting that we haven't gone to, our goal is to get to every country in the world, and some we know are going to be extremely, extremely hard, next to impossible. So we'll see how it goes.
What's really cool is this home exchange. I was looking on it the other day and seeing what countries they have it in. They have it all over West Africa now, and on most of the islands, all over, basically.
Let me explain to you guys, too, because sometimes we talk to our friends and they didn't realize how home exchange works. So home exchange, you put your home on this website, home exchange, and then you basically can contact anybody in the network, and they're all over the world, like Julia's saying, and you just send them a message, and you're like, hey, I'm interested in coming to your home. Would you be interested in doing an exchange? Or doing it with guest points. So you can do a simultaneous exchange where you both go to each other's place at the exact same time. Or you can do an exchange that's non-reciprocal, I think it's called, or non-simultaneous. So you do an exchange but at different times. So someone can go to your house, in 3 months or a year from now, and you can stay there now. Mm-hmm. And then if they don't want to do an actual exchange, you can use something called guest points. And so you just exchange points per point. So it works really good, and it's really allowed us to have a home experience everywhere that we go. It's not it's just so different. And of course, here in this country, there are these big, huge homes, so it's really nice. So there you have it. I'm going to add this at the bottom. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, like our videos, and then I should add on, make sure you click the little notification bell.
Yes.
So, because if you click the notification bell, you'll be notified when we put a video up.
We have some exciting countries coming up.
Yes.
Videos.
Tell them what are some of the exciting countries.
The Balkans, Dubai, the Middle East.
Sri Lanka, Maldives.
We have a lot of...
Cambodia.
Yeah, so we have a lot of Swiss videos coming out. And then all the Eastern European, Slovenia, Macedonia, Montenegro,
Croatia, Slovenia,
Bosnia, It's going to be beautiful. So you guys are going to love all the different videos coming up. And we're working on right now a couple more Swiss videos. We got a lot of cool ones coming out. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter so you're notified that way. And we will see you
Next.
I don't know if you'll see us next week or not. It depends. It always depends on our travel dates and what's going on and stuff like that. But depending, yeah, we might go live and we will notify you probably like the day before like we did this time. So you guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you